Hi, guys. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I hope you're having a great week so far. Today, we're talking about screen time. You know, that thing that either drives us crazy or relieves us. Sometimes it relieves us because we're busy doing something and the kids are quiet. And sometimes it drives us crazy because we can't get the kids off of them. So let's talk about screen time on your time. But first, let me tell you who I am. So I'm Celia Kibler, family empowerment coach, author of Raising Happy Toddlers, how to build great parenting skills and stop yelling at your kids. I am on a mission to stop a million parents from yelling at their kids, and I bring all of that value to you through 40 years of real life parenting experience, 27 years of real life parenting with a blended family, 40 years of professional educational experience, a lot of information that you can use with your family right away. So please, I hope you take a tip from this and discover something of value that you can do today to help move your family forward into that family harmony that we all hope we have. Remember, we're raising adults, not children. So everything you do goes in that direction to creating the kind of adult you hope your child will be. So let's talk about these things that drive us crazy, or tablets or other screens that you have going on. And how do we keep them under control? Let me tell you a story about my son first. So, my son Kyle, who is now 34 years old, is a gamer. He has been a gamer since he came out of the womb. If there were little games for little infants, he would have been on them. He always loved video games, and he always had video game consoles, a few of them that he bought for himself. We would buy him video games, he would save up and get these consoles. And he was, that was his thing, was video gaming from early on, and that's 30, 40 years ago. He never, though, was allowed to just continually play video games. He had a schedule. He had to follow that schedule. Within that schedule was not just video game time, but meals, school, homework, outdoor play, all of that, chores was included in the daily schedule that also included video game time. So being on the video games all the time was not an option. Now, back then, there were not cell phones and tablets and all these other things that we have now, but there were video games and he loved them. He loved video games so much that he decided to make it his life. He got a degree in video game, Bachelor of Science in simulation and digital entertainment, I believe it was, in video games. Went to work for one of the top video game companies, is still working for one of the top video game companies. So it can be a career. Now, why do I mention Kyle? Because that obsession with video games can exist, but you as a parent can keep it under control. Because ultimately, you are the boss of your child, not the other way around. Your job is not to entertain them 24/7. That is not your job. Your job is to prepare them to be an adult in this world and create the kind of adult you want your child to be, who is confident, self-reliant, kind, compassionate, happy, fun, all of those things. So with that comes limits and boundaries. And limits and boundaries help a child feel safe, secure, and loved. So let's talk about how we control all these screens. First of all, you want to sit down and talk to your kids. Set up a family plan of how we are going to use screen time balanced with all the other things we have to do. Sit down with them and let them also brainstorm with you. Just don't say, okay, this is how it is. Let them come up with ideas. Kids have great ideas and great solutions. And the more we encourage them to create ideas and solutions, the more they develop problem solving skills and conflict resolution skills. So work with them, sit with them, and set up a schedule for the day that includes everything. Like I said with Kyle, there was video game play or screen time. There was also chores, school, homework, meals, all of those other things that need to be incorporated in a day. Outdoor time, playtime that wasn't about a screen. Create a schedule with your kids that they can follow that does incorporate some screen time, but doesn't make the whole day all about screen time. And don't use it as a babysitter. Do not say, well, you know what? I've got a busy day. You can just stay on your screen all day. Because you're so welcome to the Lobe. Thank you for joining me. Be careful to not always use a screen as a crutch for your child, because that's what starts the obsession of wanting to be on screens all of the time. So if you need to get something done, why don't you play a game with them for 10 minutes and then give them some art craft stuff, homework, worksheets, something other than a screen to babysit them. They don't always have to have a screen on. If you're one of those families that have TVs on, even when nobody's watching, turn the TV off. That background noise is stressful. So set up a schedule that incorporates everything that needs to happen with your child that they need to do throughout the day. Another thing is you can encourage their screen time. They can get screen time as a bonus for doing things. You know, maybe you have some extra chores that you need done around the house. Maybe you want them to help with the laundry. They could earn 15 minutes of screen time for that. You know what? So on Saturday, you get a hour of screen time. If you do these chores that I have written up, you can get 15 minutes extra on the weekends. You can encourage things getting done to increase their screen time. If there's screen time all the time, you have no opportunity to do that. You have no opportunity to use it to your advantage and encourage them to do other things. You want to also make sure that if things aren't going right, if they're arguing with you a lot about screen time, that you set up consequences. Consequences can be whatever, but they need to relate to the crime. So if they're not turning off their tablet, a perfect consequence is that tablet's gone for 24 hours. Not a week, not a month, not in the garbage, 24 hours, so that they can get it back and then learn to make a better choice the next time. Okay. You absolutely have permission to monitor and should monitor everything they're doing on screens. Everything. This is something you need to do. It is not an invasion of privacy. It is safety. There's a lot of crap that goes on online, and you need to be aware of where they're going, who they're talking to, chats on games, all of that stuff, and be in control. And guys, if you want to know how to control this stuff or you want more information, if you go to pumpedupparenting.com, that website's right there, and go into courses, there is a screen time on your time course that also includes everything you need to know about video games and your child. And it's very reasonable. Go over to Pumped Up Parenting, get that course. It really dives into it deeper. And you'll meet my son, Kyle, because he does a lot of training on that course because he knows more about video games than I do. He knows about everything there is to know. This is very important. If this is in your hand all the time, you are showing your kids that you are attached to a screen. If you don't want them attached to a screen, don't you be attached to a screen. You have to model good screen time behavior. Role modeling is one of the most important things you do as a parent. Remember, everything you do, you give your child permission to do, good or not so good. So you need to be the role model of who you want your children to be. That means that you can have screen-free zones. Maybe during dinner, all the cell phones go into a basket and they are not in anyone's hands during dinner. Maybe you have times after school, they get home, maybe they get 20 minutes on their screen, then screen-free time, time to do homework, time to play a game together, time to talk and discuss your day, maybe a chore. You can play the dice game. It's a great game to get kids to do one thing to clean up every day. It's in the file section of the Pumped Up Parenting Facebook group. Look up the file section. Lots of great ways that you can have fun in your family and get things done at the same time. Be sure that you're doing things that don't include screens for you and your child. You're playing board games. You're outside. You're all playing. And I don't mean you're sitting there on your phone watching your child, because that's not role modeling good behavior. You're actually playing. Like, get in the fun. Run around with your kids. There's no better way to get exercise and no more fun way to that exercise than go outside and have a game of tag. Do stuff active with your kids that don't involve clinging to a screen. Go on hikes, go on walks, go to the park, go to playgrounds. All your local schools have playgrounds. If you need a playground, if you live near an airport, go to an airport park. Go out and do stuff that doesn't involve being on a screen. Screen time should be on your time, not their time. You should determine when screens are allowed and not allowed in your house. If it is a free-for-all, your children will take advantage of it. There are just way too many screen opportunities. Phones, tablets, computers, gaming systems, TVs, they're everywhere now. I mean, gratefully, when my kids were little, we didn't have screens everywhere. But it didn't matter. You still had to keep your life, your day under control the way you want it. Your children are not the boss of you. You are actually the boss of them. We give them opportunities to be empowered, to learn. And that's why you set up a schedule with them, not for them. Now, little guys that can't set up a schedule, you have to set up a schedule for them. But as they get bigger, they can set up schedules. Little guys that can't read, you can make a schedule on the wall with pictures. Be in control of that screen time and don't always use it as a crutch, because that's when those habits happen, and habits are hard to break. Be a good role model of your own screen time and make sure you have screen-free time zones in your home. And if you really want to go wild and really have a day without them, because maybe your kid gets too moody with them, then why don't you have a screen-free day? Take a day where you guys decide, you know what, Saturday, no screens, me included. Don't leave yourself out. No screens today. If the phone rings, we'll get it. But other than that, no screens. We're going to go to the park. We're going to go have, we're going to go have ice cream. We're going to make our own pizzas for dinner. We're going to, have a game night and play. We're going to pick out all these games to play all night. Have a technology-free day. It makes a huge difference. And you know what? Your kids will really like it. I remember one time all my kids were together and we lost electricity and they were moaning and groaning, and we had flashlights and candles. It was a long one. It was all night long. And we wound up playing games and we had so much fun. Even the teenagers enjoyed it. And they were like, this is great. We should make pretend we have no lights once a week. Make it fun for them. Make them realize that, you know what? You really can have fun without a screen. Okay, guys, I hope this helped. You want more help with screens? Go to Pumped Up Parenting, wherever it is, right here, pumpedupparenting.com. Go to courses, and you'll find the course that has 2 video trainings. One is video games and your kids, all you need to know about it, trained by my son Kyle, who's the video game expert. And 2, another screen time on your time training to reinforce this and more. Very affordable. Grab that course, watch it. You'll learn a whole lot of stuff you may not have known about screens and video games. And the more informed you are, the better parent you are, the better human you are. Learn what you don't know so that you can put in place what you need to make cooperation, respect, trust, fun, confidence, all of that a part of your daily life. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you taking 20 minutes out of your busy schedule to spend it here with me. And as always, guys, I wish you days filled with peace, love, tons of laughter. Really is the best medicine. I'll see you here next time in Pumped Up Parenting on YouTube, where you can give me a thumbs up and share this out, and all around the web. Bye-bye, everyone.